How the Himalayas shaped our world. The Himalayas, often referred to as the roof of the world, are not just mountains. They are monumental witnesses to the Earth's dynamic history. Imagine standing on the highest point on Earth, Mount Everest, and beneath your feet, fossils from an ancient ocean more than 400 million years old. Tiny fragments of trilobites, crinoids, and other sea creatures still lie in the rocks, remnants of a time when this vast land was submerged beneath warm, shallow waters. As you take in this awe-inspiring view, it's impossible to ignore how dramatically this region has transformed. From ocean floor to towering peaks, the Himalayas have reshaped not just the land, but the course of life itself. The rise of these mountains is an extraordinary tale of geological forces colliding, altering ecosystems, and creating new pathways for life to evolve. But the story of the Himalayas doesn't end at their borders. Their impact stretches far beyond the towering peaks, affecting climates, ecosystems, and even the evolutionary paths of species across the globe. The rise of this great mountain range sparked a chain reaction, influencing everything from tropical forests in Asia to grasslands in North America. It's a reminder of how interconnected our world truly is, and how a single event, no matter how ancient, can shape the destiny of entire continents. The Himalayas are a testament to the enduring power of nature, urging us to recognize the vast, often invisible forces at work beneath the surface. They remind us of the ever-changing, awe-inspiring world we live in and the deep connections that tie us to the past, present, and future. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. If you're curious about how natural changes can impact our lives, don't forget to hit that follow button so we can explore more interesting stories together. Don't worry, it's just one quick click, and we'll always have exciting content just for you. Geological history of the Himalayas. As we continue our journey into the heart of the Himalayas, we must step back in time, over 485 million years ago, when this region was nothing more than the Paleo-Tethys Ocean, a vast, shallow sea teeming with life. The land that would later rise to form the Himalayas was a quiet, underwater world, home to sea creatures like trilobites and crinoids. These ancient fossils, now found under the towering peaks, are silent witnesses to the immense changes that would unfold. The transformation began in the early Mesozoic era, when small fragments of the Earth's crust slowly collided, sparking the rise of what we now call Tibet. But the true power of the Himalayas began to take shape when the Indian subcontinent, drifting northward over millions of years, collided with the Eurasian plate. This monumental crash, occurring around 55 million years ago, set into motion the rise of one of the most formidable mountain ranges on Earth. This was no quick event. It happened gradually over vast stretches of geological time, but the effects were nothing short of extraordinary. The collision pushed land higher and higher, forming towering peaks that reached for the sky. With each inch of elevation, the world beneath them began to change, reshaping ecosystems and triggering climate shifts that would alter the course of life on this planet. The Himalayas are a living reminder of the incredible forces that shape our world, reminding us of how even the slowest processes can yield the most profound impacts. Ecological and climate changes. As the Himalayas began to rise, they didn't just alter the landscape. They sparked profound ecological and climate changes that reshaped life across the region. The once lush tropical forests that thrived in the shadow of these mighty peaks began to retreat, gradually replaced by cooler, more temperate ecosystems. The collision of tectonic plates created not just mountains, but new frontiers for life, pushing species to adapt, evolve, and find refuge in the newly formed niches. As the peaks grew higher and the air thinner, the climate shifted dramatically. The once warm, fig-filled forests, home to a rich tapestry of plant life, began to give way to cooler alpine conditions. This shift opened new corridors for plants and animals that thrived in the colder, higher altitudes, like oaks, plums, and maples. Yet, not all species could adapt to the harsh new world. The Himalayas had not only created new opportunities, but also barriers, dividing ecosystems and isolating species in ways never seen before. The monsoons, once a gentle whisper, began to roar with intensity as the rising mountains formed massive rain shadows. Moisture-laden winds, pushed upwards by the peaks, created storms that drenched the southern slopes, while the northern regions dried out. The transformation was not just geographical, it was an ecological revolution, one that drove life to evolve in unexpected and often beautiful ways. The Himalayas were not just creating mountains, they were sculpting a new world, one where life had to adapt to survive. Impact on Central Asia and global climate. As the Himalayas rose higher, their influence began to extend far beyond their immediate surroundings, transforming not just the region, but the climate of vast areas around the globe. On the northern side of the mountains, Central Asia began to feel the effects of the rain shadow. As moisture-laden winds were pushed upwards by the towering peaks, the land to the north started to dry out. What was once a relatively fertile landscape began to turn into vast, arid deserts, including the formation of the Gobi Desert. This drying trend wasn't limited to Central Asia, it had global repercussions. As the mountains continued to reshape the environment, they also contributed to a cooling trend that affected much of the world. By the middle of the Miocene, around 14 million years ago, Antarctica, once a temperate landmass, became locked in a permanent freeze, with glaciers covering its surface. The same climatic shifts that dried out Asia also helped create the icy expanse that now defines the South Pole. This global cooling was not a sudden event, but a gradual change triggered in part by the Himalayas. As carbon dioxide levels dropped due to increased chemical weathering in the region, the Earth's climate began to shift. The reduction in greenhouse gases helped cool the planet, creating conditions that led to the formation of deserts, glaciers, and changing ecosystems around the world. The Himalayas, in their monumental rise, didn't just shape the geography of Asia, they helped steer the course of global climate history. Do you find this story interesting? Leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and don't forget to hit like if you found this information useful. Subscribe so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. We're always here to explore new stories with you. Chemical weathering and global cooling. The rise of the Himalayas didn't just alter the landscape, it set into motion a profound geological process that would play a pivotal role in global cooling. As the mountains lifted and exposed massive amounts of rock to the elements, a powerful force known as chemical weathering began to take hold. This process was amplified by the monsoons, which brought heavy rains that carried carbonic acid to the exposed rock surfaces, slowly but surely breaking them down over time. As rainwater fell on the Himalayas, it dissolved small amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, transforming it into carbonic acid. This acid then reacted with the rocks, releasing bicarbonate ions into the oceans. These ions became part of a long-term carbon storage system, removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and reducing the greenhouse gases that had once kept Earth warm. This gradual but powerful process of weathering began to tilt the balance of Earth's climate. As carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere dropped, the global temperature began to cool. The impact wasn't immediate, but over millions of years, it became a key factor in the global cooling trend that shaped the planet's ecosystems. This cooling led to the formation of ice sheets in Antarctica and contributed to the spread of deserts around the world. The Himalayas, in their towering ascent, were more than just a physical presence. They were a force shaping the very climate of the Earth, influencing the conditions we live with today. Global environmental changes. As the Himalayas continued to shape the climate and atmosphere, their effects rippled outward, sparking profound global environmental changes. The gradual cooling of the Earth, driven by the reduction in carbon dioxide levels, set in motion a series of transformations that would alter ecosystems across continents. The once warm, lush forests of Africa, Europe, and North America began to give way to a new reality, a world where ice sheets spread across the poles and deserts started to form in places where life had once flourished. One of the most striking changes was the birth of the Sahara Desert. As the Earth's temperature dropped, moisture evaporated from the atmosphere, leaving vast arid expanses where tropical forests had once thrived. The same cooling trend affected other regions, causing shifts in ecosystems and forcing species to adapt or face extinction. In parts of Europe, tropical forests disappeared, giving way to the cold, barren landscapes we now associate with the Ice Age. Meanwhile, on the coasts of the northern Pacific, the cooling climate allowed kelp forests to flourish. These underwater ecosystems, rich with life, became vital feeding grounds for marine creatures, like sea cows that thrived in this colder environment. As the Earth's temperature continued to drop, grasslands began to take hold in places that had once supported dense forests. These vast expanses of grass became the new home for herds of grazing animals, which in turn allowed larger species, such as horses and ostriches, to evolve and grow. The Himalayas, through their geological upheaval, were the catalyst for this global environmental revolution. Their towering peaks reshaped not only Asia, but the entire planet's ecosystems. Effects on evolution and ecosystems. As the Himalayas continued to reshape the Earth's environment, their influence extended deep into the very fabric of life itself. The environmental shifts they triggered didn't just change climates, they redefined ecosystems and set the stage for dramatic evolutionary transformations. The creation of vast grasslands, spurred by the cooling climate and drying deserts, provided new habitats for a variety of animals. Species that once thrived in forests now had to adapt to open plains, leading to the evolution of larger, more resilient animals. Grasslands, with their abundant food supply, became the perfect environment for grazers, allowing species like horses and large birds, such as ostriches and emus, to grow in size and strength. This shift in the landscape opened up new opportunities for species to evolve in ways that suited the changing environment, marking a pivotal point in the natural world. The pressure to adapt led to the survival of those best suited to the new conditions, driving evolution in unexpected and fascinating directions. The Himalayas also played a critical role in driving the diversification of life. The isolated valleys and unique niches they created allowed species to flourish in ways that might have been impossible in a more uniform landscape. The mountains, by fragmenting ecosystems, created opportunities for species to evolve independently, leading to the emergence of unique forms of life, such as the many endemic plants and animals that call the Himalayas home today. The story of the Himalayas is a story of life's resilience and ability to adapt, evolve, and thrive in the face of monumental change. The mountains didn't just shape the land, they shaped life itself. As we reflect on the vast and profound impact of the Himalayas, it's clear that these mountains are more than just a geographical feature. They are a force of nature that has shaped the very course of life on Earth. From their dramatic rise, which set off a chain reaction of environmental and climatic changes, to the ecosystems they helped create, the Himalayas have left an indelible mark on our planet. They stand as a testament to the incredible power of nature's forces, which, though slow and steady, are capable of transforming the world in ways we can scarcely imagine. The Himalayas not only redefined landscapes, but also set the stage for the evolution of countless species. By creating new habitats and isolating ecosystems, they allowed life to adapt and diversify in ways that were previously unimaginable. The plants, animals, and ecosystems that evolved in their shadow tell the story of life's resilience and the never-ending dance between change and survival. These mountains, though seemingly distant and remote, are connected to the world in ways that we often overlook. Their influence extends from the rainforests of Southeast Asia to the deserts of Central Asia, from the frozen landscapes of Antarctica to the vast grasslands of North America. The Himalayas have shaped the past, guided the present, and will continue to influence the future of life on Earth. In the end, the Himalayas remind us that nature's power is both humbling and awe-inspiring. The mountains are a living, breathing symbol of change, evolution, and the interconnectedness of all life. The Himalayas teach us powerful lessons about resilience, change, and the interconnectedness of all life. Just as these mountains have endured and evolved over millions of years, we too can adapt to life's challenges, no matter how daunting they may seem. The story of the Himalayas reminds us that even the slowest processes can lead to profound transformation. This serves as a reminder that every stage of life, no matter how difficult, holds the potential for growth and change. For those of us who have seen much of life's journey, it's important to remember that just like the Himalayas, we can continue to evolve, finding new paths and creating new opportunities for ourselves and those around us. Change is not something to fear, but something to embrace, knowing that it is often through adversity that we find our strength and resilience. Thank you so much for watching the entire video. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment with a 1 and hit subscribe so we can discover more amazing things together. Share this video with your loved ones so we can learn and grow together.